Hello, welcome to Spread Book Joy. Today I've got the pleasure of reviewing Shade by Chad Nicholas. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jack. If you're not new, welcome back to Spread Book Joy. And I'm really pleased to be doing this review because it's a review for an indie author. Chad Nicholas is a self-published author and I have seen his work on some of my favourite YouTube channels, not least of all Reading and Whatnot, Ariel's channel, and there is a really good review and interview with Chad, spoiler-filled interview by the way, about this book. I've seen David from David's Book Reviews doing a review of his book, and Steve from Steve Talks Books and Stuff has reviewed his stuff, and these are people who like to read the sort of fiction that Chad writes. Now, I am an eclectic reader, so I will read absolutely anything from horror to classics to, you know, biography to, you know, I love reading, so I'll read anything. And I was really thrilled when Chad got in contact with me. It's the first indie author who's got in contact with me on YouTube actually to review his book. I don't normally take, I'm going to put it out there if anyone else wants to contact me, I don't normally take review offers. I don't normally, because I like to be enthusiastic about the books that I review, and I don't like to just take, I'm a mood reader and I want to read what I want to read, so I will review someone's book if it's something I actually want to read, and they did want to read this. I'd seen the reviews on Ariel's channel, I've seen and various other channels and Steve's channel, and I just thought, yes, I don't read nearly enough work by indie authors and I do want to support where I can, so this was the perfect opportunity. So thank you, Chad, for reaching out to me. Now, he did give me this book in exchange for my honest review, and there were things that I liked about Shade, but there were some things that just didn't work for me. But what I loved, what's really good about indie authors as well, is you can actually have that conversation. And so Chad and I had via email back and forth about things that I was like, why this choice, and did you do this, and did you review this? So he's really great. He's got his own channel actually, and you can go over and follow him. And if you do pick up any of his books, his previous book Nightmare, which I'll put on the screen, had the coolest cover ever, that's horror. Shade is more crime, psychological thriller, I would say, with a bit of horror slasher thrown in. So think, you know, serial killer book. For the structure of this review, I'm going to talk about the story, then I'm going to talk about the things that I liked, and it's all going to be spoiler free, and then I'm going to go into the things that didn't work for me, and in order to do that I'm going to have to give spoilers. The story is a dual timeline tale of a serial killer being hunted in one timeline by two FBI agents, which is the past timeline, and in the present day one of those FBI agents is trying to protect someone who is being stalked and hunted by a serial killer, and one case directly impacts the other. And the story, without getting into spoilers, there are some really, there's a lot of action, there are a lot of imaginative and gruesome ways that these serial killers are killing people. And in one timeline, the two FBI agents are desperately fighting against time to stop this serial killer who is selecting his victims in a really unusual way, and they're not quite sure, and then they find the link, and yeah, that's one timeline. And in the other timeline, the present day, the victim and the killer are directly linked in a way to the other case. So it's really interestingly structured. It's definitely full of some very gruesome moments. Like I said, there are some really, like, his imagination, like, yeah, it's definitely for someone, if you like your gore, if you like your horror, then he's kind of definitely a writer for you, I would say. The storyline is structured, like I said, in a really cool way, the dual timeline, and I'm a fan of a dual timeline. I really like when you get hints of why something's going on in the present, and you're given these hints, and these storylines play out alongside each other, and they come together and they converge in a very unique way, which I can't talk about until the spoiler section. The other thing that I liked was there was a huge twist, which I did not see coming. I really didn't see coming, and I feel like even though I had there were things that were problematic in the story for me, which kind of limited my enjoyment of the story. It doesn't mean I didn't think that the story wasn't one that was well thought out, well plotted and structured. I also felt that if you are, when I was reading, I was like, I could think of several people who I know would love it. So I was like, actually, I don't normally put out reviews for books I don't wholeheartedly recommend on my channel, but I did want to review this for Chad and tell you about the good, and say that if you are someone who likes horror or who likes kind of psychological thriller or serial killer kind of stories or fiction, then do check out Shade. Go and check it out. I urge you to, because also Chad's a really cool guy. He's a really lovely author. If you do check out his work, go and watch his interviews over on Ariel's channel, because he puts a lot of thought into his work and a lot of passion goes into his work. And also, don't you think the covers of his work, like the coolest cover art? And I'm really, really impressed with the fact that he's got such drive and passion for his storytelling. So, to find out about the issues I had, I'm going to do some spoilers. So here is your spoiler warning. Spoiler warning over. I'm going into it. So the issues I had, the story is about two FBI agents Shade and his partner Jack, who are tracking a serial killer in the past. And Shade is a veteran, like he's I think an army veteran, and he has some PTSD and some serious psychological damage from his experiences, to the point where he hallucinates. He's hallucinating, he's got huge like really serious psychological problems going on whilst he's hunting a serial killer, to the point where it's visibly affecting him, or I thought it was visibly affecting him. But when I pointed this out to Chad, he was like, oh no, you're seeing things, you're seeing more, because you've got that sort of reader viewpoint, and actually a lot of the stuff that's going on that you're being fed as the reader, the people around him are not seeing. So I was like, I can handle that. That's true, but I can take that. But there was a point when one of his bosses admitted to knowing that Shade had previously hallucinated. So it kind of, as soon as I thought that, this is something that I, as a reader, when I find a flaw in a book that means that I have to end up suspending my disbelief and it takes me out of the story, I struggle with enjoyment from that point on. So I read the whole book, and I was really impressed with, like I said, the fight scene, where this is what I'm going to go into, where the dual timelines converge. I've never seen that done before. I thought it was really skillfully done. The dual timelines converge in one fight scene. There's a fight scene happening in the past and a fight scene happening in the present, and almost paragraph to paragraph, they're kind of interlocking and interchanging till we come like smack and the two timelines meet, which I thought was really cool. And the twist at the end, where we discover that Jack, who is the FBI agent who's supposedly protecting this woman from Shade, is actually the serial killer, and he wants to kill this woman. He's having hallucinations. So both characters having hallucinations in the same manner, both of them being law enforcement professionals. I just felt they would not be in the situation they're in. They would not be able to protect others, to not endanger an investigation that's so serious. And it just didn't ring true for me. I just felt that once that I realised that, in my head I was like, oh no, I don't think they wouldn't have anyone working these cases. And in my head, once I got that idea in my head, I just couldn't get past it. But it didn't stop me from appreciating the other parts of the book. If you're not into gore and violence, and there are some really gory moments in it, it might not be the book for you. But if you are into, like I said, psychological thriller / horror / slasher fiction, this could be the book for you. So that's why I want to put it out there. And also, I did agree, I would put out my honest review, and these are my honest thoughts. So thank you, Chad, for sending me your copy of Shade. I wish you all the luck in the world with it. I think it's doing really well. And actually, every other review I've watched on YouTube has been a glowing review of this book. So yeah, take from that what you will. I'm going to link the other reviews and the interview with Chad and Chad's channel down in the description box below. And if you've never been here before and you've not seen the kind of books I review, I'm a very eclectic reader, so go and check out some of my other reviews, go and check out some of my wrap-ups, and hopefully go and check out Chad's book. And hopefully I will see you again here soon. Bye!